highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go.
body's dead, my eyes are shut, and the glowing red. I don't need sleep, 'cause it's all in my head. It's all in my head, it's all in my head. You can find me on the dance floor, moving like a zombie for sure. My skin is looking paler, I'll figure it out later. Don't be so concerned, it's exaggerated. Sun
I've been trying to fight the demons in my mind.
block your number for good. But here you are texting me you up. I know exactly where this is. On your side of the bed at 3 a.m. I tell myself don't fall this time, but you say my name and I lose.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary carries. Welcome to CSC NA. I am your co-host, Amos Kingsnake. I'm joined today by P-Mott. It is the grand final of Contender. What a show we've got in store for you tonight. It is HG versus OS. How do you feel about it, Mr. P-Mott?
Oh my goodness. Just the two words, grand final. They get me all tingly. There's just something about it. Grand final in Counter-Strike. It is the best place to be on any day of the week.
True.
And in honor of that grand final, we got a little bit more juicy stuff than normal for you guys. We went a little bit above and beyond to get you all the inside scoops on the insights here. So we have asked all the players some questions on how they're feeling coming into the matchup. I'm going to start us off with the responses that we got from the assassins. So, let's start with Bro Dog. We asked Bro Dog how he was feeling. He said, going into finals, I'm feeling really confident. I think we have all the pieces of a championship roster. Colin and Zippy are always capable of finding opening picks or clutching out rounds when we need them. I believe Alex is the best IGL in the tier, and Arthos and I are more than happy to trust the system and do whatever the team needs. What stands out most about this team is the mentality. The vibes are great. Nobody gets discouraged when things start going against us. Even when we're down, there's never a feeling that the match is over. We stay composed, trust each other, and keep pushing. I've been to the finals before, but this is the most confidence I've ever had in a team going into one. I think we're ready. That was a bit
Words like
wordy,
that, I'd say it's
but
so.
yeah, I mean he's spitting, if I had to say so myself.
Absolutely.
Zippy says he feels confident in himself, feeling confident in the team and the prep we've put in. Expect a Dust 2 Ancient, but we're fully prepped for any other possibility. Excited for the rematch. So Zippy even giving us a map call. Nuke Dust 2 Ancient is what Zippy's feeling.
Well, Ancient is the CSC special. Always helps to be prepared on that one.
That is true. We could bet on Ancient, and we'd probably have a high EV on that. Arthos says, I feel as a team we built a bond that helps us trust one another, even if our game breaks down. If it looks like we're down, don't count us out. We aim to win. Short and sweet from Arthos.
Right on.
And then last but not least, we got Nylok. He says, we lost to OS on match day 1, and to be honest, I figured one of us would have been eliminated so we didn't have to deal with this rematch. LOL.
Yeah, you know what? That's how I reacted in the moment too. But you know what? I can appreciate that he just feels a little bit, it's lax. He's not fretting too hard about it. Sometimes you don't want to overwork yourself and then get inside your own head. It's like any other game, except 3 of them potentially.
Yeah, he's cold-blooded for sure.
What
do you got from OS?
What do I got from OS? Oh, I've got some comments. I got some comments for sure. All right. Going to start us off with 3, otherwise known as X003. He's put some killer stats up throughout the whole playoff run. Lowest rated game he had across the playoffs was a 1.14. Everything else, he's been averaging around a 1.3. He has said, we are feeling pretty good going into finals. We started kicking it up a notch and playing to our potential at the perfect time. I also think our never give up mentality is what separates us from a lot of teams. We can crawl back when we're down in any game we play. Can't forget about our inner chi ball we use to lower our cortisol levels. Not sure what that is, but it does sound like some forbidden tech. It would be something that at the Order of the Samurai would use. Yeah, it looks like we've already started. So yeah, we've got Nuke coming in first. It is absolutely a tough map to start off on, but we're going to see they want to make a statement early on over there on
Oh,
OS. And there's the
Zippy the
CSC special
Psychic.
coming in. True.
He nuked us too anxious. He got it in order as well.
That's actually nuts. That is nuts. What a guy.
Mods,
What a guy.
admins, hello. How is that possible?
He's used his OS samurai tech to
He's on
read
the
the other player's
assassins. He
mind.
hacked the samurai or something. I don't. He's not even on Hacker Haven. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's just, I've
Yeah.
never. Somebody called the entire ban. I mean,
Yeah.
now we can't even act like we're surprised over the ban because we knew it ahead of time.
I guess so, huh? Well, those are some maps. The stats are showing that both teams can fire real strong on them. It's a tough decision on both teams. You just gotta have faith in the squad and hope that your players can come out on top. Now
Yeah,
it's gonna be. We still have a little bit of time before the game officially starts, so we can finish up our player thoughts before we go right into it. Still
yeah, go
got
for it.
yeah. Let's see. I think I just finished talking about what Bot had to say. Next, we've got formerly verified. He is the second highest rated player on their team overall, and he's in the top 10 for 1 versus 3 clutches won. He's got a very high clutch rating this season. He says, we've started off this season with a really strong win over them on match day 1. This is, in fact, a grudge match, ladies and gentlemen. These two teams have fought each other before. But clearly they have started heating up, so I don't want to let my guard down for a moment. In order to make sure I am ready in every sense of the word, I made sure to practice my spray patterns hard, both in game and IRL. And this silly little guy, he actually sent me a video of himself shooting a gun in real life. Got to put in those reps sometimes, any way you can. Any way you
That
can.
could help. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and
going
it was
above
it
and
was
beyond.
it was a weird gun. I've never seen it in Counter Strike before, but
Oh, it wasn't
yeah,
AK.
maybe he's got the new update. Maybe that's the next update. That's what
Jesus, we don't need any more new guns like the R8.
he had. Certainly not.
Just one
But
shot everybody and ruin the whole game for a week.
absolutely. Next thoughts we've got from Banana. Love that name. He is the number 1 player for sheer number of pieces utility thrown in all of Contender. That's a gold medal right there. And he is the number 1 average rating on his team. And he has stated, we feel really good. We obviously got hot at the right time, which is very important for playoffs. Of course, it's not going to be easy, and no playoff game has. But we all have the job's not finished mentality, and we are hungry, all caps. A team full of prospect promotions making it to the 10D chip is something to be proud of regardless. But we are going to go out, have fun, and try to bring home the bacon. Looks like
Wow,
they're
I
going to
didn't
try
know
to fry
that
some
little
headhunters.
that
Yeah,
little nugget right there. They're all prospect move ups. That's a pretty nice storyline.
yeah, that is commendable to even make it as far as they have. Then, but like you wouldn't even know it based on their stat lines. They've been firing hard these playoffs. And we got last but certainly not least, little bit of a surprise. We've got Shane 216. Now, some of you might, if you're keyed in on the Contender landscape, you might realize, wait a minute, who's Shane? He's not on OS. He is tonight. He is subbing in. He is subbing into the grand final. Big shoes to fill. But let's see if he's got what it takes to make it a championship performance. And he has some thoughts as well. I'm excited to play with 3 and Bot again. We were on OS together last season, and they're great players. It's also my first final in CSC, so I'm just looking to have a good time and ruin the party for HG. I'm also looking forward to beating Zippy. We've had a few head-to-head matchups over the last few seasons and used to scrim each other a lot when we were both on ACA. A little bit of a rivalry going on there.
Wow. Yeah, not much doesn't get all the glory because he didn't participate in the whole season, but he's just in it for the love of the game, wanting to ruin the HG's night.
Yeah, the last minute pick. Let's see if it pays off big for OS. I've got faith in him.
Yeah, I did want to touch on something. You brought up a couple of the key stats for some of the OS players, and there's really one player on the HG side that I would counter with. Nylock. We saw he had few words to say in the pregame questionnaire, but he's been saying a lot on the server. He leads Contender in kills. He leads Contender in 3Ks. He leads Contender in 1v3 clutches, and he leads Contender in impact rating. What do you think about that kind of player coming into tonight's match?
That's a monstrous player to go up against.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Collecting gold medals like he's going out of style. Taking a page out of Kigu's book, just collecting medals left and right.
yeah, that is an incredible season from him. And speaking of seasons, like the OS players highlighted, they've kind of heated up coming into the tail end to qualify for the playoffs, and they've managed to make it all the way to the grand finals. Bit of an up and down season for them. On the other side, HG has had a strong season altogether, with the exception of the match day 1 loss to Shinobi. That was a blowout. They also got blown out by ATL. Everything else has either been a victory or a close defeat. They've only lost 4 games. And so very, very different season storylines coming into this grand final.
It's definitely a clear underdog going into this matchup for sure. But
Yeah,
you do gotta love an underdog story. You gotta love a grudge match, and you gotta love a little bit of rivalry. And that's what we got for you all tonight. All three at once.
yeah. And on the same token, where we have 2 very different paths to get to playoffs, one other interesting thing to point out is once the playoffs began, these teams have the exact same map win journey. 2-0, then 2-0, and then in the third series, map 1 loss, reverse sweep. They both have done the exact same thing. Isn't that kind of interesting?
Oh, absolutely. But it doesn't matter what the road to get here looks like because one of these teams is going to have their road swiftly ended.
I,
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be a good one just from the way all of this is stacking up.
Oh yeah. This is a storyline. This is a storyline to rival the major, some might even say.
I think so. I mean, with the 5 move ups coming all the way to the grand final, it's like Kerrigan joining with 60 days till the major and just having to make something work. These guys, this is their first time playing in Contender, and they made it all the way. And then on the other side, you have one of the best teams of the season just trying to make it not all for nothing, like a Vitality.
True. But this is the grand final, folks. This isn't the quarterfinal.
Well, yeah,
Man, they got those dates mixed up, I swear, in the major, man. The grand final happened on the first day of playoffs. Then they had that weird like match 4 days later. Yeah, that's those
show
weird like
match.
furry the guys with the furry
Show
logo, they
match.
really just didn't put up much of a fight.
They put up the show match on Sunday. They forgot to put the actual grand final.
True. We we're still it appears we're still waiting for everybody to join into the server. But so looks like we've unless you've got something further to say, Piedmont, if we're still waiting for players to join, we're gonna go ahead and take it to a little bit of a break while we wait for everybody to find their way onto the server. It's a big day. Everybody wants to be fully prepared, including
Yeah,
hopefully all of you. Grab
yeah.
yourself a snack, a drink, some a place to sit because you're not going to be on your feet for long with that kind of a build up. I assure you.
We'll be right back.
Right on.
Bad idea again. But I always let you back in every time I say I'm done, I'm lying. You walk in the room and I stop trying. You're a bad idea again. But here I am, making the right time. Guess I never learned my lesson. You're a bad idea again.
consequence and gives over the kill.
Yeah, 3's a little bit under pressure here. He does get that info, no damage, but they're actually going to where more CTs are. 3 might have been the preferred target, actually.
Yeah. CTs are down at B, but they're not quite in position to deny the plant outright. But yeah, the P250 absolutely clipped the wings of that player. Absolutely monstrous shot from the back of sight. Does make it a little bit of a question mark. Maybe the round has still got something in it. Another pistol kill goes the way of HG, but it's traded back, and it's all on Arthos to try to make something happen. Unfortunately, not quite enough. Too much weight to bear. A 2 versus 1 with only a pistol to their name is a little bit too great a bridge to bridge.
Yeah, but good on them. They made that way, way closer than it should have been. I think it was 3v4 when they ended up going down that vent, right? And then it came down to a 2v1. That's a lot of value out of those pistols.
Absolutely. It's been the pistols singing. We could sing the praises of both sides pistols. Like, that is 3 kills on low buys for both sides. Neither side clearly wanting to give an inch. Even whenever they are down, they are making it hurt.
Yep, and we're all tied up now going into the next full buy round. A little bit of aggression from the CTs. I like that.
Yeah, Bot's trying to go for a little bit of a peek in towards lobby, but not going to overextend himself, not going to offer a free frag. 3's just going to do a little bit of a smoke spam, try to deny the cross into vent. Unfortunately, not quite true enough. Does bring Nihilak close, or not close, low, but
he did
does
do
not
a lot
get
of
the
damage.
kill. Yeah.
I don't know if he got the info either, is what I'm wondering.
Yeah. Bomb, though, is still topside, so if this lower flank is going to pay off with anything, Nihilak is going to have to take some kind of fight sometime soon. Bomb is still stuck lobby, and with the smoke redeployed at ramp, that is going
coming
to...
up. Here's
that's
Nihilak onto Shane very soon.
Ooh, yeah, the flank is going to be true, and I don't think Shane is prepared for it.
His gun.
Oh, the gun model blocks him, and that's...
Right.
Yeah, the gun model blocks him. Truly a shame, and that is going to be the ramp open for business. Every last T is pouring down, and Bot's just going to knife the wall in pure frustration, because that's the round just slipping through their fingers, and HG as a 5-man, and there's a 5-man retake in the way of OS. First frag is going to go the formally verified's way, though. But Alex is going to pick up one of his own. Man advantage still squarely in HG's hands. Fights are still coming in. Spam is not true, but Arthos is true. Finds the frag, and it is left onto the shoulders of Banana and Bot. Unfortunately, only Bot remains now, and with time not on his side, it looks like that is a done deal for OS, and it is, or a done deal for OS and HG. HG is going to be taking that lead, and that is going to be...
Yeah,
not a full save, though. Alex is just going to go down with the bomb, but they'll take a round over a player any day of the week.
Yeah, and it was that lack of information on the vent drop that kind of broke that open. You know, ramp player just decimated, and the B bomb site open for business, like you said.
First tactical pause coming out of Shinobi. They definitely do not want to let this CT side go awry. They do not want this advantage that Assassins has clawed for themselves to compound very far. So they're going to go ahead and give it a quick little talk over, try to get a handle on the situation here and now before it gets a little too dire.
Yeah, and this is a really pivotal point because, you know, they're electing to force. That's going to, you know, a lot is going to be banking on this then, because if they lose this one, that's Assassins on 4. They're on a save, that's Assassins likely on 5. Which is already pretty...
The quota for a T side, yeah. Definitely do not want to be giving them this round. Very, very pivotal. It is worth more than its weight in gold. It's worth more than 1, worth 2, perhaps even 3 in 2 rounds following. So, yeah.
Yep.
A little bit of fast aggression outside. Going to try to take the fight early. They are good for 1, but they're traded back by the Marshmallow player. And unfortunately, the lobby crunch from ramp does not do very much for them either. It is being held frag does go the way of Formerly Verified, though. The MP9 gets a nice little spray down and shores up the man advantage yet again. It's 3 versus 3, but the HP is looking a little bit lacking towards the HG side of play. One player is walking very weak right now, and Zippy's forced all the way back into his spawn. He's playing CT side as all those counter-terrorists are just trying to push HG back into their little hidey hole, but unfortunately for them, HG is firing a little too quick, a little too true.
Yeah.
It's going to leave
like you
bot.
said,
What's
the
up?
man advantage for HG is there, but the health, the two of them are one shot. And so this is dicey. This is definitely not a done deal.
Yeah, dicey for both teams. Definitely could be. All it takes is just a couple of quick shots on either side to make something happen, and the full HP player is felled by OS, and with only 30 seconds remaining, HG have got to take these two wounded players and make some magic happen, and Zippy is here to answer that call. He gets the kill into the back on the player mini garage, and bot is unfortunately not quite there in time to stop the plant from happening from the player to slip away into the smoke. He is going to shoot him in the side, but bot doesn't know where Zippy is. It is a 1 versus 1. Information is squarely in Zippy's favor, but the HP is not. One singular bullet, one singular shot is all it'll take, and Zippy will be decimated. Bot is going hunting, but Zippy has slipped the net, and he knows it's a fake. Time is now squarely on Zippy's side, and bot is left clueless, wondering exactly where the player's gotten off to. Just the confidence to not re-swing. Just absolute mental domination in that round. Oh no, he killed himself! No, that's not how you want the round to go.
Oh no!
The molly's not true enough, and he burns himself alive. Actual Summit 1G moment. Loses the 1 versus 1. Gets a big brain on his shoulders, but unfortunately, big steppers on his feet, and he steps in the fire, burns himself alive, and gives the round over to Shinobi. And they're gonna take attack pause after that. Definitely, you're gonna have to stomach that one, Assassins. A bit of a tough round to see.
His brain got so big, he became so top heavy that he couldn't stop himself. Once he had that momentum going towards the molly, he just went into it. He couldn't counter strafe. Like, the counter strafe was impossible because of the size of his brain. Not peeking on two fakes is unbelievable when they had a that was the force. I mean, I guess maybe you think there's no kit, but oh my gosh. That's a crazy, crazy round. Now we got a tech. I mean, this is just,
I mean, I guess this is definitely we got to just chew on this. All of us here. We're going to be
madness.
Right back whenever that's resolved. But yeah, don't go anywhere, ladies and gents. We got a game on our hands. And it looks like we're back, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
All right.
We have a 3-3 tied up scoreline. It was a disastrous round 6 for the Assassins. They got themselves all the way to the finish line and then tripped over their own shoelaces right at the goal. And they are unfortunately on a bad bye yet again. So Shinobi looks to be getting the lead here and now.
The Force Spy Wars have started. We got AWP, rifles, low util for the CTs, matched with a very rough buy, like you said, for the Ts. So, I mean, aside from the AWP and the rifles, you know, utility-wise, the CTs don't have much. You know, they're gonna have to back
is brought low, and his teammates are brought even lower. 2 kills go the way of his teammate on site. Nihilak 3 gets one of his own, and that is just going to be a clean and easy round from Shinobi. The A hit absolutely gets smashed, decimated, destroyed, other adjectives to describe a blowout.
Yeah, the rifles looks like the rifles were plenty of a difference maker. That was, they didn't need any util to stop that push if they're going to get multi-kills like that.
Assassins are just on nothing. It's going to be Shinobi going to be getting their 5th here, more than likely, unless just some upgraded pistols. The Hail Mary play does something, but the rifles making such a dent last round, it does look like Shinobi have found their footing that they might have been lacking a little bit in the early game. That kill, the self-kill in the molly and the 1v1 might have given them the extra shot in the arm they needed. Speaking of shots in the arm, how about a shot in the face? Alex gets popped. No armor to hold back the M4. Speaking of holding back the M4, though, the FAMAS is going to get some of its own. A 3K on the ramp defense leaves Arthos alone. Only a Deagle to work with. 4 angry CTs. Very, very keen on his location. Ready to shoot him down, and they do exactly that. Shinobi get their 5th off a save round shutdown.
Yeah, the FAMAS passed the test there. The T's did correctly choose the weakest point of that CT buy, but it didn't matter with Super Sub Shane and a triple takedown.
Absolutely. The FAMAS is no longer the sad, just kind of, for lack of a better word, just pathetic rifle it was for the last decade. It has been buffed, it has been made into a menace, and it has shown, it's proved its worth there. Nice little triple out of the ramp hold. Leaves HG 2 rounds in the deficit, but they do have a bye going to this round, so let's see if they can shift the tide back in their favor. Nade doesn't quite find its mark on Marshmallow, but I like the tenacity of it.
Yeah, Nylok's got a nice position here. Might get down the vent. Oh, makes noise though.
Buddy, he's a little too... Which one of you flatfoots? Quick drop down my vent.
Is that a quote from somebody?
SpongeBob. No. Like, which one of you flatfoots? Quick drop my vent. Sorry. The vent player does get down, but not really much you can do, especially when you make a noise like that. All you can do is just kind of maybe hold some of the space and hope that a CT gets caught out of position.
It looks like he threw smoke down there, and he's trying to maybe turn it into a B fake. I mean, he's got Shane worried. He's got the A site kind of vacant.
Yeah, there's just no information on OS's side here.
They are going down. I mean, Shane is ready to receive this from Clock.
But his position's known now. But it doesn't matter that he's known. He's going to go ahead and try to quell the tide on his own. He does get 2 for his troubles, but it's still OS at man disadvantage. Those 2 trade frags come back the way of HG pretty quick. That is yet another 1-for-1 trade, and that is a 1-for-0 because there's nobody left on that OS side of things. The final frag goes the way of HG, and they make it a 1-round game.
Yeah, that was pretty good fundamentals. You know, they faked the bomb plant. They watched both doors. CTs went to deny the bomb, but the op got taken out, and then the single door player didn't really have the angle because it was a strawless plant. So they managed that pretty well, even after taking the fight with Shane and losing a player. And I don't know what happened to Nylok, but he did not survive into the end game there. So they didn't have their inside man anymore. But yeah, good on HG to pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely. First frag is going to be the way found by 3, but he's brought low for it, and then he's brought down to nothing by the trade. It's now 4-on-4, and the outside hit is coming in. It's quelled for now by a couple smokes, but only one player really truly holding the tide. It's a matter of time. Alex finds one towards the ramp, goes a little bit too feisty, looking for information, and he loses his head because of it. And it is a 3 versus 4 man disadvantage for OS.
Yeah, the T's actually have an open runway to walk out squeaky. Nylok has come halfway out, and Bot is maybe aware and not wanting to be exposed, but they're going to get
Bot is in a very committed position. Once he is swarmed, it is game over. And unfortunately for him, that was the last bullet in the magazine, and he is traded out. It is a 2 versus 3 retake expected yet again out of OS. Bomb is going to get planted on the A site, and that is 40 seconds between HG and tying up the game. Whew, and only one player remains. How about 0 players? 2 nice shots out of Zippy.
Look at Arthos' damage this round. Can we highlight that?
How much did he have?
67.
Oh man, that's a number. I think I've heard it before. I think it's related to that thing that the kids say, 76. That's right, right?
Yeah, or I think it's famous because it's like 2/3, right?
Yeah.
Rounded up.
Yeah, 2/3 of like 100.
Yeah.
That's what both teams are giving right now, 100%.
Yeah, I thought you were referring to the 2/3 part. I was like, how much more do you want them to give?
Nah, no, they're giving 100%. Speaking of giving 100%,
big nade
looks like
stack.
100% outside pressure. They're just fighting for it early, but unfortunately for OS, there is the whole squad here to receive them, and they get shut down pretty hard. There's only 2 players left. Formally verified. He's got a little bit of a flank, though, but unfortunately for him, the acceleration is coming out of HG, so if he wants to get anything done with this flank, he's got to go now. Unfortunately for him, he's not able to get anything, and with his position now known, he is very soon to be a walking dead man. He gets a lot of damage, though. Look at the damage done.
Yeah,
absolutely just
SMGs.
Nothing left on HG. That's only a couple bullets to work with on every player. Against SMGs, that is a disastrous position to be in. You do not want to get swung by these remaining 2 players because they are out for blood. They got some wounds in, and the blood is in the water, and OS are swimming hard right now, trying to find these last 2 HG players. There's one. The shot is so clean. Redbox might get 1 or 2 here, but oh man, he's just so tucked, so afraid. He does not want to lose his head over this. He's got a peek, though. Formally verified, just going to go ahead and stick it, or try to. The shot is true from
Ollie
Alex.
gets down.
And he gets it. Low HP,
Pristine.
doesn't matter. Alex just pulls it over the line for his team. The 1 versus 2 clutch is true, and that brings Assassins into the lead at a 1-round advantage on their T side of Nuke.
Yeah, that was exciting. It was like we had Prime Nico coming out double doors, hitting a 1-tap, and then we had Prime fucking Zipix in the 1v2 clutch.
We're gonna take a tack pause to go ahead and think this one over.
Yeah. And like you highlighted, I mean, yeah, Assassins are on 6 now, which is more than what you'd really ask for on a T side. So they're in a great spot, hoping to make it better.
Yeah, absolutely. This is more than enough to make a case for a good T side on Nuke. Absolutely. And it is Shinobi left with their head in their hands a little bit. The clutches have been, other than that one clutch where, I mean, let's be honest, it was more due to to a blunder than anything else out of the Assassins. Shinobis have just been kind of left a little bit out in the cold in these 1vx situations. Just not quite able to get it over the line when it matters. And it is the final round of play. Let's see if they can tie up the scoreline to make this not the most dire situation. But they do have a lot of work ahead of them regardless.
Yep. It's going to be on Bot to hit this shot if Alex decides to challenge it. I will say on the op front, Zippy is putting in a lot of work on the T side. He's out-aiming his, or maybe not out-aiming, but out-producing his CT counterpart, it looks like.
Sure. Ooh, the tension is so great, and this is a tough shot to hit. Bot's holding a very cheeky angle here. It's a very narrow gap. If the player swings wide, that's only about just a fraction of a second to react. So we'll see what happens when he gets tested. Maybe not. Ah, man. You know, you make us wait. You make us wait, and then you don't even go, man.
Okay, well, they want to give us some action elsewhere. Zippy opening up the A site.
Yeah, Zippy gets his stepper singed a little bit. It's going to ring the alarm for OS that there might be somebody ready to come out of hut, but that's going to be another redouble back from HG. They're going to go ahead and retest ramp. Well, I mean, once the smoke clears. They're just going to go ahead and walk on right through.
Yeah, Bot gives it up. Decides to opt back.
Absolutely. He's going to play from J-Hall, but nobody's going to give him anything for free. That's just going to be the B site set to fall. Whoa. Ooh, the shot is so crispy out of him. He gets one. Zippy gets one of his own, though. A lot of trades coming back and forth. Yeah. And unfortunately, Nyluk goes uncleared, and it leaves formally verified in the 1 versus 3 to try to make this a 6-6 half. But unfortunately for him, his position is now known. He's getting chipped down, whittled away little by little, and this half is drawing to a close very soon. First kill does go his way, though, so it's now a 1 versus 2. Not quite as Herculean of a task, make it a 1 versus 1. Clean shot onto ramp, but unfortunately for him, it does not account for the players sneaking through the smoke, and that is going to be a 1 versus 1 going the way of Assassins yet again, and they collect 7 on their T side.
Yeah, Alex is playing these late rounds extremely well. As soon as that smoke popped, he already had it in his mind to start repositioning in it, and you can see how bad it caught the enemy off guard. You know, after, and props to the CT, was that formally? I can't remember, I'm sorry, but whoever was in that 1v3, props to them for isolating 2 out of 3 of those fights. I mean, made it way more possible than it really seemed at first, but Alex was just one step ahead.
Yeah, no kidding. Down to the wire is the theme of this game over and over and over again. Ooh,
So
a
yeah,
little bit of
OS in a
groundwater
tough
on
spot
Banana.
now.
Gotta love that Glock skin. Nice classic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're just waiting for some action to happen. There's some action. Banana is felled. Nice shot out of
Brodog,
shot out of
right?
Brodog.
Yeah. And that was on a hut aggression, kind of a risky play, but you know, they get it and then they just say, thank you very much. We're gonna go back to A site now. And then it just, you know, leaves the T's in a disadvantage with no possibility to trade.
Yeah. No overextensions here. They're here to win. They are not here to throw away
Okay.
any more
I'm not
rounds.
sure how 3 got here, but this is probably from Secret. You know, maybe not known, but he's got to make noise to get any further, you know, whether it's a door or a window.
Yeah. 50 seconds remain, so OS does have to do something. Flash is going to come out of A through the single door. Yet another one for its troubles. Going to be a little bit of a push out onto A, but unfortunately for OS, player gets shut down. Flashes are not effective. Fortunately, it does leave it as another man disadvantage for OS. Bomb. Ooh, they try to play time behind clock, and it just pays off so with nothing for that player. Absolutely gets decimated. Plays a little too passive. Doesn't take any fights whenever it favors them, and it absolutely does not go well for HG. And it leaves Brodog all alone to try to get 3 to match his original opening pick. Fortunately, that is not in the cards, and Shinobi take the second pistol and make the scoreline 7-6.
7-6. Yeah, that was I did not see that going the way of the Samurai, but they did a really good job. Maybe a little bit of a blunder from the clock player, but you know, good on them for executing on that kill and then immediately being ready. You know, they knew they took a while to kill that guy, so they were ready for the door push single as well as the ramp flank. So in reality, 3's position lower, it didn't seem like it could do much, but it was kind of the linchpin for that whole play.
Absolutely. Flank plays have been paying off huge for both teams. Opening pick goes the way of OS, but bit expected. Whew, that's not expected, though. Ooh, a couple of nice quick pistol kills answered back by HG. I mean, they're traded back, but it is a 3 versus 3 now against the low buy. Shinobi have to really tighten up their round if they want to prevent this one from slipping away. Remaining 3 players have grouped up towards outside, but HG is thirsty for blood from these opening 2 frags, and unfortunately for OS, they have been shown that they can bleed even against these not so ideal weapons. Mac 10 finds a nice little slick kill, though. No armor player gets chewed up and spit out. Leaves the last 2 pieces of the puzzle to try to clutch up Alex and Arthos. Ooh, can't quite find the frag into the back. Kind of tough to get a kill like that onto a player just absolutely race carring around with the Mac 10. And Alex is gonna go ahead and just save the rifle. His team worked real hard to get it, so no need to throw it away. But that is going to be Shinobi tying up the score.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they couldn't make more of that, but they did get a rifle out of it. And, you know, to the credit of their T side, you know, now they've lost the pistol and the follow-up, but they're still afforded a tied score line rather than a losing score line, right? So they have room to work with on this CT side. They've got their full buy coming in. Formerly is trying to find that guy, but he is all the way back here. I don't think there's time. Oh, a little bit of violence, but no
little bit
murders.
true. Actually, a little bit of
violence.
violence. You don't like we don't like violence here, or maybe we do. Do we like violence?
We don't like partial violence.
We don't like partial
just
violence.
Violence for no reason, you know. There's got to be a result.
Speaking of violence against my full buys, what is that? Man's got a PP Bison in the grand final. Let's see if Bot can chew some people up with it.
He's letting that thing bark down outside.
It is the BB Bison, because it is the bark Bison apparently. Let's see if the Bison can find its mark. Unfortunately for them, he's just shooting some smokes. His teammate's gonna get felled first. X3 loses the Bison, does make a lot of noise with it, but does not find any impact.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of finding impact, that is yet another kill from the Heaven player. Good for 2 and gets away with their life. Absolutely defangs the outside push and leaves OS in a 3 versus 5 man disadvantage with only a minute left to try to salvage the round.
Yeah, HG right now, they've got to be focused on not letting this one slip like the pistol round did. You know, they're in a great spot, even with Brodog low. The T's really have nothing. They have Red Box and Lobby, and that is not a ton.
That's not quite enough to make a round happen on their own.
As long as the CTs don't get too antsy, then this should be a put-in.
Absolutely. Just take your round, boys. You worked hard for it. You shut down the ferocious PP Bison player. Always a very scary thing to deal with whenever you are on the CT side. Oh, they're not even going to let them get that consolation frag at ramp.
Yeah.
Ramp player's going to go ahead and just head for the hills, play the hide-and-seek simulator towards B site. Banana is going to get one frag of his own, though, but still...
Oh, he doubles up.
It is just firing too true, and he gets 2 from the red box position. Absolute just massacre, and his teammates there to pick up the slack and get the final one, and Assassins take the lead right back.
Yeah, he said, I'll show you a fast-firing SMG, but let me show you what it can do at point-blank range rather than the maximum range on the map.
Through a smoke.
Which was where the...
Yeah, Assassins...
Big difference.
Man, they're going to take attack pause. They're just going to try to get their emotions under control, I guess. I mean, whenever you get 2 MP9 kills like you're John Wick, I guess it's good to just kind of... What's up?
And the third player was right in his face, too. That had to be a high-stress moment.
Absolutely. Get your emotions under control. Get yourself a little bit of a reset, because the rounds, they might be in your favor right now, but the game is not quite over, and Shinobi have made some masterful rounds. Have made some masterful rounds in this series so far. So definitely do not want to let them get anything back. Time to shut them down.
Yeah, they don't have a ton to work with, but you know, the beauty of the T side is, you know, if you can maybe get the CTs out of position and do some kind of fast play and get up in their face, then you know, you can do to them what they just did to you with the MP9. You know, just because you're on max and text, those can be quite deadly on that A-bomb site where all the angles are so close.
You were saying the beauty of the T side. The beauty of the T side is that you can buy the Tech 9 on it. Mac 10 didn't quite find its mark, and neither did his teammates' weapons. Absolute massacre on the A site, and it is all on to Shane's, the super sub. He's giving a little bit of a nod to the camera. He's like, yep, hello. I know I'm dead. I know I ain't living this. I know it's all ogre for me, and it was all ogre for him. Absolutely decimated, and Shinobi are going to be put into a little bit of attack pause to try to get their bearings back after an absolute devastation on the A side.
I think that was 5 alive for the CTs, so their bank accounts are going to be loving that, and that is, you know, ringing alarm bells for the T side, because if the CT bank gets fortified, then this map could be a very tough nut to crack.
Yeah, no kidding. We are starting to see why this is such a CT-sided map. It is very difficult to crack into anywhere on this map once the CTs get fully online with everything at their disposal.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be like a nuclear engineer to really find your way on this map.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta be like, I don't know, a guy that kills people, I think.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh, there's a
Galil's
kill.
in the
The
way.
Glock finds one, but it is just one. Only 2 players left. Make that 0 players left. Assassins.
Zippy
They
get
lose
the
a couple
AK.
on that
Zippy
A
the
hit,
AK.
but what's up?
Okay, Zippy got the AK. I was yelling at oh, it wasn't Zippy, it was Arthos. Arthos needed to get the AK, but he got it.
Good to hear. But only a couple frags go the way of Shinobi. It was a pistol buy at the end of the day, so you can't really expect much. But unfortunately for them, it is not about doing economic damage at this point. It is about getting the game back under control. There is not a lot of runway left. There's not a lot of leeway left for these OS players to make something happen on Nuke. And that window is closing ever closer. But maybe Bot has something to say. Nice little quick frag out of him.
Yeah.
Game's not over
pressure on
just
the
yet.
dog.
Ooh, Zippy
gosh.
answers one. Nice one. Back through the smoke. Absolutely decimates the player outside. With a little bit of a smoke break. It is a 4-on-4. Minute 20 on the clock. Ramp is held by OS. Good news for them. And the B site is very soon to fall as well.
Yeah, and Zippy was forced out of that angle that he had. and into a
Zippy
less
tries to get a
favorable
little
angle.
cheeky with the single door opening, and he's going to lose his life for it. His reward for trying to be proactive is nothing short of being taken right out of the action, and it is a 4 versus 3 man advantage for OS to try to hold on to this B bomb site, let that exploder do what it does best, and, well, explode. And it is a 3 versus 4. Make it a 2 versus 3. Little bit of a consolation frag. It goes the way of HG, but that is all it is indeed. It's going to be them trying to save the op, trying to get it out of the hands of OS. It's going to be every last player falling on Shinobi's side. Not the best situation you want to be in economically. They do not have the money for that type of man loss. It has done a lot of economy damage to them, and HG are still in a position to rebuy, even with losing all their players. Well, all but one. That is not something that favors OS at all. They might have won the round, but they're walking wounded.
Yeah, especially because the one player that survived carried over that big green, the most expensive gun, so that allows Zippy to drop rifles, and they're back onto a absolute full buy, and the T's are rocking 2 Galils, right? So
2
even,
Galils
like you
and
said,
not a lot of utility.
Oh, 3 Galils, pardon me. It's even worse.
The Galil.
Okay.
Maybe
never
the Galil's
mind.
enough
3
though.
Galils,
First
ever,
kill.
yeah.
First kill goes the way of the Galil. Banana finds one outside. Takes a little bit of damage in return, but he'll definitely take the kill over damage any day. Alex answers one back on the A site. He's going to upgrade to the AK for his troubles. It's a 4 versus 4, and 2 HG players are walking very wounded. 13 and 26 on Alex and Brodog, respectively. Formerly verified is going to go ahead and test the ramp players, see if Arthos has what it takes to hold on to it. He's going to go ahead and try to slip down towards B site. Zippy is tested, and he passes with flying colors. Easy shot for the op. Collects the head of the player sneaking through secret, and it is a 4 versus 3 man advantage for HG. A little bit of control is given over towards Heaven, though. Rap is coming in from formerly verified, and Banana, but Banana gets his wings clipped by the op of... Was that Zippy or was that Alex? Nah, that was Alex. Formerly verified gets one back, and it is on to Alex and Arthos, the 2 players with the A in the name. A+ aim is their game. Let's see if they can bring it in and win this 2 versus 2 clutch.
Yeah. Well, Alex.
Not with Shane on the case, though. That shot was brutal. Absolutely rips the head off. Formally verified gets one of his own, and Shinobi have made it a one-round game yet again.
Yeah, and this time Zippy's still super rich. I think, yeah, they're going to be able to get back into this. He is going to spend half his money on the op, and so that's going to result in a little bit of a weaker buy across the board, but not really. I mean, 3 rifles, full nades on everybody. They still have the big green. So, yeah, I mean, just all those rounds they won and all those players that survived are paying off here when they're really being tested.
Yeah, the pressure is still on OS, especially with the man disadvantage on the weaker side. But a little bit of bright shining light for OS is that if this round goes their way, that is going to be HG not in the best position to defend on round 21. So
yeah,
this is worth 2 for OS. Though same could be said of HG.
Yeah, with all the casualties have been taking, that they haven't had that same luxury of building a bank round wins they. Oh.
Ooh, disastrous dink. Yeah, definitely. Timing. Formally verified. Brought down to 18 by HG. Little bit of a bullet to the dome. Little bit of a dink, a doinker for his trouble. Bot's gonna try to take some shots through the smoke, but nobody is home. The lineup is just too true, and he gets yet another. Brodog is going huge. How about another? And the A hit is absolutely shut down yet again. Assassins are just unshakable on that upper site, and Shinobi just can't seem to make it work time after time, and they are just on nothing for their troubles. Money in the tubes.
Yeah, and the scoreboard says it, 21 and 12. You can read the numbers and see that Brodog is having a good game, but if you really drill down in types of kills he's getting, I mean, he had a double kill from Heaven, shutting down the outside push a couple rounds ago. He just had a 3K, which I thought was a 4K, but it apparently was not. I mean, he's just having
I felt like a 4K.
Impact. Yeah.
To be honest.
Oh, the flying
viable MAC-10 force buy absolutely rips the head off that player at ramp. Yeah, man, you got to watch that economy a little bit closer because they ain't on AKs right now. MAC-10 just chews up the unhelmeted player, spits him back out.
Jump scare.
Oh, man. Jump scare from the Raven jump scare. Absolutely. But it does not matter. Alex is unshakable. He's been unshakable this whole game, and he gets the kill anyway. It is a 4 versus 4, and with Banana still on low HP, it is a tough road ahead for OS to make something out of this round, but they do get yet another frag. The MAC-10 finds its mark, and then is going to open up the B site for business. The bomb is going to get planted. Fake came in first, but finally the bomb goes down. 1 frag goes back the way of HG, but it is still a 3 versus 3 retake. Smoke in the face of the double door player, going to reroute towards. Ooh, and he gets killed, clipped, and formally verified. Goes massive this round, gets the opening pick, and gets 2 more to his name, and that brings OS to double digits. 1-round game yet again, and that is the money in a bit of a precarious spot for HG.
Yeah, but even that 1 round that they snuck in, that two rounds previous, the fact that they were able to get one, just them sneaking that in, it isn't even horrible. It isn't even dire. It's not like where OS has been broken over and over. We still see HG somehow able to afford rifles and grenades. 1-2 players on pistols, sure. No op, for sure. But it's not like they're being brought to absolute zero, which is just, it's kind of shocking. And, the CT is the more expensive side. And one thing I noticed in that round, it was kind of crazy. We had 2 Ts fighting out hell, shooting at a CT that was standing red box. It was like they had transmuted teams. Like the Ts were defending the outside and the CT was red box. That was kind of funky. So that whole round was kind of funky.
You have to play a little bit with the chaos if you're on a low buy on the T side, though. Right now, much as OS does look like they've been losing a lot of these rounds, some of the rounds they've been winning have been just absolute chaotic, just taking rounds they've got no business of pulling over the line. So let's see if they're able to take that little bit of a shot in the arm, a little bit of a renewed vigor, and transform it into a set of rounds. They need 3 to win. Oh, they need 3 to win this. HG only needs 2. Brodog is tested first, but he gets the frag. Brodog comes out on top. MAC-10 does not quite find its mark. Man advantage goes the way of HG. Minute 7 on the clock. Zippy gets one of his own, and that is now a 2-man advantage for HG, quickly becoming a 3-man advantage. Banana brought low, brought dead. Formally verified, does get the kill in the back. The lurk play gets one to answer back, but it is still a 2-man advantage. No, wait a minute. Nice little shot out of Formally Verified. Yet again, gets a second frag to his name. Still man disadvantage, but the round is looking a little bit more doable, especially if that outside fight goes the way of 3. They brought it all the way back from a 5 versus 2 to a 2 versus 2. This is dicey for HG. Only a couple pistols to work with. The time might not be on their side, but bomb is going to get planted very, very soon. Unless this outside player goes huge and stops it, but unfortunately, he does! At least the 1 versus 2, and I mean the player is really far away and garage. So if the heaven player just has to like be a hero, and he is, assassins are able to claw back what was very quickly a devolving round, and they put themselves on match point.
Yeah, that was unbelievably patient for Nylok. He was in that tucked garage corner the entire round. Didn't matter who was dying around him. He had the audio on the player just hanging out secret stairs, and it paid off in the end. All that patience paid off with the 1 Deeg onto the bomb carrier, and no time left for the T's. They had to scramble. They weren't sure where to plant, and they picked wrong, and it was just a free kill, essentially.
Essentially, the final tactical pause of Map 1. Shinobi have called it. They are trying to figure out the best way to approach this round. There is only a maximum of 2 left in regulation, and they got to prevent Assassins from winning either one if they want to get Map 1 to overtime. But with the weaker weapons, with the lower buy, it is definitely looking a little dire for Shinobi. This might be their final hour for this map.
Yeah, again, we can see just the lack of economy hurting the T's. We've seen them get some good entries and have some good success on these buys. They are going for a fast ramp, smoking the molly.
I love the smoke of the molly, but unfortunately the meat grinder is here. 3 players to receive, and that is that. Assassins absolutely destroy Shinobi on the ramp hit. It is gone in a matter of moments, evaporated. OS are shut down, and Map 1 goes the way of HG.
Yeah, kind of an anticlimactic as well as a climactic. It was action-packed, but it was very fast. It wasn't a lot of build-up in that round. But of all the rounds, to put 3 players ramp, what a time
what
to
a
do
good
it.
read out of HG to just know that that is the type of desperation play that they're going to go for. I mean, every single time they've tried to hit the upper sight on A, it just hasn't gone well for them. So they probably just figure, if they go outside, we can reroute. Let's just stack ramp, boys. I've got a feeling in my gut they're probably going to go here. This is the last place. They haven't really tried it, so that's just a soul read right there. Absolutely predicted and shut down. The reward is in HG, and the reward goes towards HG. They take map 1.
Yeah, Alex the IGL, he read them, put it on Goodreads, he reviewed it, he put it in a magazine, he gave copies to his family. It was all, front to back. He had that locked down. And now, that was HG's map pick. So, you could say expected. Now we're going over to Dust 2 next, which is OS's map pick. And it's on them to, pressure's on them to turn it around. And, one more time, I'll highlight that both of these teams, first time they lost a map playoffs, they ended up reverse sweeping. So
it's definitely not over yet.
Yeah, the sequence and the what's the word? Pattern. The pattern suggests that OS is not quite done yet.
Especially since it's their map pick. That definitely is a bit of hope. It is not quite over yet. And they did make it competitive. I mean, obviously that last round definitely did not look that way. It definitely was a bit of just like a whimper at the end of a long series of a long fight, but let's not forget that was a 13-10 loss. That was 2 rounds away from being overtime, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
was 1 kill away from being like a very like a reversal of fortune for OS. Not 1 round where it was just the 2 versus 2. That was just dire straits for HT.
Yeah.
They just happened to barely get it over, and they were rewarded because of the economy pressure. But man, I
Yeah.
don't think this is gonna be a whimper of a series. I think we've got a lot more in store. But
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I mean, keep in mind as well with the economy that the CTs had, there wasn't a single round that they didn't have a rifle. It was like they had so much money, and so that's like another point for OS for being able to put together 10 round wins when the essentially the CTs were in control of that entire game, but OS made it competitive just out of sheer tenacity. It felt like.
yeah, no kidding. That's not to mention all the rounds they won that were just like, oh yeah, we've got like 2 MAC-10s, a Tech 9, and a singular rifle. We're just gonna win anyway. But yeah, while we wait for every last player to get connected and get readied up, we will be right back. So go ahead and get yourselves a drink, get yourselves a snack, because it's not quite over yet, folks. We've got more to show. Hello. Apparently, I'm being told by the production team we've got almost 3 dozen people watching it. So watching this. So hello. Good evening. Hope you're all having a wonderful time. We're all having a wonderful time because we're watching some wonderful Counter-Strike, map 1 of this series, grand final of Season 20, CSC. It is the contenders contending with one another. First map went the way of HG, so it is on to OS to show that they've still got some fight in them. And
It was a contentious map.
A contentious map, some might say. It was dire. It was the Shire. It was other words that rhyme with ire.
Fire.
Fire. I like that. Whew, speaking of firing, yeah, just every last
Zippy's
frag
on
goes
fire!
the way of Zippy. Zippy was on fire. Absolute monstrous ace out of him to start it off. HG is here to say, yeah, it's your map pick, but we don't care. We're going to go ahead and shut you down anyway. The cat hit is absolutely decimated. Ace out of Zippy.
Yeah. Zippy's here to say that all that glitters ain't gold. He's saying, you know, Nylak has all those gold medals. Zippy had a hell of a performance on Nuke, and he's starting off hot on Dust.
Yeah. He is the shooting star to break the mold.
Okay. Oh!
Hey! Woo! There, how about another one? Nice little shot out of him. Nice little doinker. Absolutely blasts away Banana.
The shots keep coming, and they don't stop coming from
They
Zippy.
really don't stop coming. He really is the all-star. He has gotten his game on, and he is going, to play. Unfortunately for the Glocks, that is not the range you want to be fighting. It is just open season for the remaining OS players at long, and Assassins just get the easy free conversion. Look at that. Zippy is just having himself yet another nice little game. 8.0 KD going in, you know? Get this kid onto Spirit. Donk? Who's Donk? More like dunked on. Zippy's firing on all cylinders.
Or put him alongside Donk, and we can call him the Zonk.
Zonk. Call him
minus Zontix plus Zonk.
That's a fusion I'm not so sure I would be comfortable with. It's gonna be a first buy round for OS, but guns are still very strong for HG. Nary a single player fell on that second round conversion, so they're just gonna go ahead and carry all these guns into the next round. No rebuy required. 3 is going to try to creep out of middle. The flash does not quite go the way of Zippy, though.
The timing
is huge. I think Zippy did see it. He's just playing the trigger discipline, but it doesn't even really matter. His teammate gets the free and easy kill from CT. The FAMAS finds its mark, and it is OS left with 3 alive to try to clutch back this round, but unfortunately for them, not a lot of space to work with, and really unfortunate for them, the monster of the server, Zippy, is still in business.
Yeah, very much in business. He has not left this position, and they are, I can guarantee you, if they come doors, they won't check it, but they are avoid it.
Gonna go ahead and group up and go towards Cat. It's about the last thing they got to work with, but only a scout and 2 rifles to try to make it happen. Does not look very possible. Nice shot out of Formerly Verified, but that's the greatest highlight that OS can ask for at this point. A singular frag goes their way, and Assassins absolutely slaughter them on that late Cat hit yet again. It is 3-0.
Yeah, I feel like the Headhunters Guild they were loading into the server, and they saw that it said Headhunters Guild, and they were like, oh, wait a second, guys, we're supposed to be hunting heads. And it feels like they've hit almost all headshots this game.
Yeah, Shinobi, more like Shinobi kills.
Got him!
I mean, when you see a start to a map like that, what else can you say? This is a little bit of a brutal start for OS. I mean, it's only 4 rounds deep, but man, after losing map 1, you definitely don't want to see a scoreline like this.
Yeah.
Shot is baited out of the Opper, but nobody capitalizes on it. A little too afraid of trying to hit that Cat position. They've been shut down on it so many times. Ooh, a nice little shot out of Banana. Deletes the head, but the op answers one back.
Yeah.
Bot is fell.
A lot of pressure on Alex. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, the pressure's too great. Shane finds the frag. The bomb is going to get planted. It is a man advantage for OS, but not a weapon one. Only 1 rifle to work with.
Oh my god.
The pistol is just firing so true. Oh my goodness. They heard us. They heard me. They so you was talking mess. They heard me said yeah. They fired back. Some Deagle kills absolutely decimate HG and put OS on the board. Arthos is left just absolutely with nothing to try to make this round happen. He's going to go ahead and just save the FAMAS. And, I mean, what else to say but other than just goodness.
Yeah.
A couple of frags go the way of HG, but whew, those are some monstrous frags.
Yeah.
Bartho's going to upgrade to the AK. Maybe not the thing that Shinobi were wanting out of that round, but they will definitely take that round. That was a slow start out of them. So to get it back on track a little bit, show they still got some blood in them, still got some fight in them, that is the shot in the arm they needed. Some monstrous pistol frags, get them on the board.
Yeah, and 3 said it's my turn to embed myself in mid doors. You know, I think Nylok was prepared to clear it. He looked right at him, but just like you said, a monstrous shot with that deagle. And so it was kind of funny. 3 was the one that walked past Zippy in the round previous, and then he embedded himself that in the last round.
Frags traded back and forth, but unfortunately for OS, HG came out on top yet again. It is a man advantage for the HG squad. Remaining OS players are going to group up and hit towards mid, but nobody is biting. They're going to go ahead and just turtle up on HG, not giving anything for free. Maybe not. Alex is going to go for a little bit of a cheeky peek, and whew, the reswing from doors is expected, and he catches it. Alex holds his nerve, holds the line, combines with his teammate on B, and absolutely shuts down that late mid hit, and Assassins get another round.
Yeah, when you have 2 players on a side like that, and even if one has used a smoke tunnel, having an additional smoke available for doors makes it so hard if the T's are trying to mid to B with no tunnel element. Because having that smoke down on doors, you can see how Alex was just allowed to pivot from angle to angle and win all those fights. So really well played, getting out of mid and into B at the right time. Oh, and good on bot. In the molly.
Yeah, absolutely good on bot. Arthos is felled. Man advantage for what feels like the first time this whole game goes towards OS. Making another one. Yeah. The reswing into tons goes disastrously wrong for HG. They poke their nose in to try to get some information, and they find a bullet for their efforts. Bomb's going to get planted on A, though. Woo, bot is on fire. Gets another. Formally verified, gets one of his own on the tech, and Banana to clean up shop, and that is a clean sweep round out of Shinobi.
Yeah, it was like Ott was allowed to just kind of be a turret with that op, you know, one from lower onto cat, then lower into upper, and then lower mid. I think Zippy walked in it, so it was just he was just able to reposition his scope into the right moment or the right position each moment, and they didn't really have any. They didn't try to use any util to take him out. It was, you know, a dry walk into upper, and then, you know, the opper from Zippy walked into it. You know, it was just free kills for bot. The first one was definitely the most earned. You know, flames at his feet, takes the head off the cat player. That's not an easy shot.
Definitely, we might have given him a little bit of mess at the beginning, but if the rounds keep going like that for Shinobi, it is definitely there's the question of whether a map 3 is required. Some absolutely clean rounds out of them. Maybe not the one before the last round, but definitely the last round and the pistol round. The round where they had pistols.
It's like Arthos just had a little bit of extra bank. It's on a hero rifle, pistols aside from that.
Yeah. Not really much you can expect out of this round if you're HG. Maybe to try to cripple the money a little bit of OS, but 5 did survive the last round, so even a few kills is not going to be enough to really do too much damage.
The rifle's in a good spot now.
Rifle is on a good spot. Ooh, nice shot out of Zippy. The deagle sings true, finds one, but that's going to be all it's worth. The pistol goes through the smoke, gets one, but is shot down, and is all onto Nylok's shoulders. Nice little P250 kill from the catwalk position from him.
I love this flank.
But yeah, the flank is very nice. I love the reposition, but it is being considered a little bit. That's why the players tuck towards car, but
because oh,
yeah,
clear.
Yeah, unfortunately for the flank, the car player is not quite fully cleared, and that is Shinobi making it a one-round game yet again.
I think he might have made a step on that initial jiggle to look at sight, because the car player tucked and then the util from sight. It seemed like they kind of knew at that point. I think he might have given up the game a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. When you got a P250 and no kit, you like have to do something. You can't just like play it super duper slow flank like you might normally be able to with a full rifle. Ooh, op versus op. Bot is felled. That goes the way of Zippy. Man advantage, HG.
Oh my gosh.
The nade lands
nade.
in formerly verified's lap, absolutely blasts him away down
In
to
7
just
rounds. That's the second time he's been taken down to half within the first 20 seconds.
It's just unfortunate. I didn't know we queued into an Inferno match. Jeez.
Formally definitely think so.
I guess so. I mean, I'd be...
Doesn't matter. He gets one.
My desk would have a brand new dent in it.
Yeah.
Couple of frags go the way of both teams, one apiece. Still man advantage for HG. Minute left on the clock to work with of OS if they want to get something going, but formerly verified is a little bit wounded, so definitely not very likely that this round has anything in the cards, especially with how little map space they've been afforded. They're still clustered up on mid with only a handful of seconds remaining. Cat player is discovered. Oh, Zippy gets a little too big for his britches. Tries to re-peek and gets clipped. It's on to Nyloc's shoulders to try to make something happen. Damage given to one of the players, but not quite felled. It is a 3 versus 2 retake, but both OS players are extremely low. It is not looking very likely for them. They are boxed in, and the pincer is going to be coming in soon. But a hero play could make the difference. Oh, the nade smoke absolutely completely destroys Verified's game plan, and Banana is felled as well, and that is OS destroyed, HG collecting 5.
Yeah, I don't know if that was intentional or not to use the HE as a pseudo smoke flash, but that's exactly how it worked out. You know, the CT was able to get so wide without the T really being able to clock that movement, and that, you know, just completely caught him off guard.
It just made it for the perfect 2v1 swing. Unless you're Prime Nico, you're not hitting the first and then the second shot. You ain't hitting that flick. That's a tough flick.
Yeah, you're holding right. You have to flick hard left, then back hard right. I mean, that would be... I would probably...
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think the small bones in your wrist wouldn't like that kind of...
What?
Oh, man!
Zippy!
Zippy is just showing that he's still got it. He's still he's still hitting headshots. Boom, headshot. Absolutely takes the head off of the player crossing top mid through a smoke, no less. This is just the name of the game. This whole game has been, hey, here's the HG man advantage, but it is yet again coming to fruition. 5 versus 4. The cards are still in HG's favor.
Zippy is fire with this off.
Oh, man, you can't be slow peeking Zippy like that when he's hitting these kinds of shots. Bot is destroyed. They're going to try to answer back, but it's just, yet again, they're just giving him the freest of free kills. Just gets a 3K, and that's OS left with 2 alive and nothing to show for it. No space, no chance. Last 2 players are just going to go for a Hail Mary B hit, and that is not looking very likely. Especially not when Alex has been as unshakable as he has been. He only gets 1, but with Brodog at the back of the site to pick up the slack. It's going to be Assassins on 6.
Yeah, a little bit of credit to OS. It wasn't like a complete blunder. They've really had no grenades in that round other than ones they used to get out on B.
Yeah. The money isn't such a bad spot for OS. It's so dire for them. Oh, Bot gets a nice shot, though. Cannot sing that praises enough of that shot. Deagle's fire, real true there. gets the man advantage for OS for a change, but with only pistols to work with and rifles to try to quell the tide, it is still a long road ahead of them if they want to make this a round worth talking about. Ooh, some pistol kills yet again.
Scary.
The Glock finds a nice headshot through the broken smoke. Tech9 gets one as well, and that is a 2 versus 4 retake expected out of HG. There is a low player. How about a 0 player on OS, though, to try to hold this defense? 4 HP on 3, and it is just... Ooh, okay!
Oh my god,
Zippy
that was
almost...
so close.
Zippy nearly, or was that Nylok? That was Nylok. Nylok nearly just decides to shut it all down himself and just absolutely rip it away from Shinobi, but thankfully for Shinobi, they are able to get that final frag, but man, dicey, just dicey round. Even, like, they've had a couple of rounds that have been decisive, but man, Shinobi has just been made to work for it, and when Assassins win, it is a blowout.
Yeah, and that's going to go to the tail of the money as well. You know, you can see they didn't invest a whole lot. That was kind of like a half buy. But the fact that they only get out of it with 1 rifle, they don't really have much in the bank aside from bot. So if, you know, they really need this one, otherwise they're going to be in a bad spot again.
Absolutely. And HG has just had economic advantage for so much of this series.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like they haven't had to worry about finances almost any of these rounds, to be honest. Bot's going to go for a little bit of an early frag in mid, but ooh, and he gets the shot. Doesn't quite kill Brodog, but leaves him walking wounded. 92 HP deleted off of him, just down to the 8. But kill's not quite found. Speaking of finding kills, 3 finds a nice little shot, but he's traded back by the grenade. Arthos gets one on long. Unfortunately for OS, the trade frag is being blocked by a smoke, so Arthos is allowed to get away to fight yet another day. But OS is slowly crawling onto this A site. A site itself is a little bit understaffed. There's a player up cap, but the rotate is coming in. A lot of assassins are coming in to try to stop this. And it is a man advantage on their side, but not maybe... Oh, nice little Kukli shot from Arthos. Just jumps up and shows him who's boss and absolutely decimates the OS hold. Nary a single player goes down on that retake, and that is Assassins collecting 7.
Yeah, I don't know if that was explicitly communicated or just kind of incidental, but the player jumping distracted the default player while the cat molly was being thrown onto the bomb site. I think bot took over 50 HP from that molly because he was trying to kill the jumping player. He was just standing still with his op trying to kill the jumping player, and then by the time he gets out of it, he's like 1 health, and the jumping player finally connects at that point. So that was like a lot of synergy, whether that was 100% planned or just the way the cookie crumbled. Either way, it was impressive.
Speaking of crumbling, that is the story of OS, unfortunately. They are just absolutely getting blown out of the water most of these rounds. It's only a 3-round game, but it definitely feels like it feels far more dire than that. So many of these rounds have been so decisive for HG. Granted, it is, some might say, a CT-sided map, especially after the changes to double doors, but Zippy uncharacteristically misses a shot for once. Teammate is there to pick up the slack, though. Nice little head tap out of Nylok. Gives the man advantage to HG yet again.
Got 1 player up cat, 3 hanging out B and mid. You can see that Brodog and Arthos goes for 1 more. Brodog and Alex have been on B site for the entire half.
They're unshakable on that B site. They must have been drilling it a lot because they have duoed up. It has really forced OS to try to take A over and over again because B has just been closed for business. Speaking of closed for business, so is mid. Zippy gets another kill, and just OS is just, they're just deflated. That's the half, boys. There ain't nothing left of that. That's just going to be HG collecting 8.
if you ask people that play in the higher levels, it's having 2 dedicated B players is just not sustainable. But the T's haven't been able to punish enough elsewhere to force them off. So
Shane gets a nice little shot through the smoke.
Oh.
How about another? All right. Shane's left alone in the 1 versus 3, but with 8 seconds left. That's it. No time to plant.
yeah, no time.
Go in. Come on, man. Go for the kill. Get the stat line up.
That's tough.
Shinobi's only on 4 from their T side. Only 4 to their name, and Assassins are on 8. And might I say 8 decisively.
Yeah, and the other thing to think about with Shinobi's going on to the CT side is now your back's against the wall, and you're also not going to be the one dictating the pace of the game anymore. The T's dictate what happens, and unless the CTs go for like some super aggressive. But aside from that, it's up to the T's where the bomb goes. It's up to the T's if they're playing a default or a stack, and that kind of thing. So now it's like you have not much to work with, and also not a lot of control over how it actually plays out.
Yeah, it's just unless OS can find their footing yet again. Unless OS can find their footing, find some kind of form. We're just watching. They are just watching the series slip away from them alongside us. 3 is playing a little forward, going to try to get a nice little headshot angle onto the player lower, but unfortunately he has been discovered. He's going to stick around though. He really wants to try to get a fight going his way. He's going to get the information that the bomb is down towards tunnels. That's going to elect to draw a little bit of a stack towards the B site, but that call might end up biting them because HG is just deciding to full pivot towards the now heavily understaffed long. It's only formally verified left to defend that part of the map. Left alone, only player. The only person who's even in the same time zone is 3, and he's more focused towards middle, more focused towards lower tons, but nobody's home. Every single CT -1 is just waiting to try to hold a B site hit, but it's an A site hit. The smoke is going to block vision. Formally verified. Unfortunately, Zippy is just the monster of this game. The hero. Zippy gets felled, but the damage is done. 2 kills on the entry out of Zippy. Just a monster this game, a monster this series, and unfortunately for OS, they are not quite equipped to deal with these monsters. The Headhunters are doing as the name implies. Banana has made it a 1 versus 1 though, but time's not really on his side. Neither is his aim. He gets felled at the final hurdle. Arthos shuts him down, and the second pistol goes the way of Assassins, and they are 4 away from winning the series.
Yeah, I was going to say, formally, you have the preferred weapon with USP on that long range, but the fact that it was going to be 5 versus 1, I mean,
just look at
doesn't
those
matter
green,
how good your
just
aim
look at the
is.
green on Assassins, man. The score lines.
They're all firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, no kidding. Sorry, I just wanted to say something about that. What were you gonna say?
Absolutely right. I was just gonna say it gets overwhelming, even if you have the preferred weapon. Just see that many targets.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially when you're alone and everybody's on the other side of the universe. They've been so psyched out by these HG players on the OS side of things. They just never rotated because they were just so afraid of that late B pop. And it really cost them. Nobody was home to try to hold against an A rotate.
Oh,
nice little shot out of formally verified. Makes it a 2 versus 2. Man, the weapon advantage has been shored up a little bit. HP advantage is on the side of OS, but the bomb plant position advantage is definitely on HG. It's planted nice in the center. Other player's going to go ahead and play long. Oh, the nade absolutely dunks on the player cat. Formally verified's left alone. Man's trying to line up some util. He's trying to do his Nard out here video, but unfortunately, it's not quite enough right now. You got
these players, but he has no armor.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the kit. And oh man, HG is just playing yet another jumping kill, yet another Kukli. Arthos just shuts him down in style, and they bring themselves to double digits on the HG side of things.
Yeah, Zippy's having a blinder of a game. Arthos has a lot of important kills. Alex has a lot of important kills on that B anchor. And then Nylock, the guy we were glazing, is just, he's got his feet kicked up. He's got a Mai Tai with an umbrella in it. And he's just letting his guys do their thing.
Yeah, man's Mr. Incredible on the plane, just drinking mimosas. Shrimp is on sale at this hour. It is convenient. Shinobi are getting blasted away.
Yeah, and the tack pause is probably a good thing.
That is you could just feel the sadness in that one. There's nothing going their way. What was like Nuke made it seem like there was going to be some life in the squad, and unfortunately for them, Dust 2 is showing us that they have just been defeated, broken.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the op on bot. We've seen some good signs out of him, so the lack of the op on the T side might make it hard to deal with the CT op. It just all depends how bot can have an impact here. This is the opper's paradise.
It is the opper's paradise. Some might even say it's an Amish paradise.
Well, it is a HG paradise right now.
Yeah, it is an HG paradise. 2 kills go their way. Damage is done a little bit, but unfortunately for OS, it's not about doing damage, it's about getting kills. And, oh man, OS just evaporates. The cat hit is just too true. Oh, just Arthos is on the case to even stop a consolation prize. It's all onto Shane, the super sub, but it's a 1 versus 5. All he's got to work with is a FAMAS. Not looking very likely, not looking very possible. It'd be very hard for him to even survive with the gun into the next round at this point. Oh, man! They're just showing him how it's done. Brodog just deletes him, the double dink for the disrespect. This is just brutalization.
I was literally about to point out that Brodog had the M4, so it was like they were on even ground. And to be fair, Shane did dink Brodog, so they were on even ground, but Brodog just hit the second shot before Shane could do anything.
That so diabolical. Just the double dink M4. It's like, yeah, you bought a helmet. Doesn't matter. You're gone, man. 182 deleted. Sayonara. And it is 2 rounds between HG and a very, very decisive victory against OS.
Yeah, bad vibe. CTs. Samurai down to daggers rather than their full katanas. We've seen success from them on the worst buy. It's just,
yeah, they're on to shurikens because they're throwing this one.
Okay.
Sorry.
They're falling on their swords.
They are falling on their swords, man. Come on, OS. Get some kills.
Oh.
That's not. Jeez, man. This is hard. It's
just I'm trying to figure out, like,
that
is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
That's so miserable to see out of OS. They get a tiny chance, and it's just gone. See you later. Never really had a chance. The Deagle, that's just a consolation Deagle prize at best through the doors. He gets another, at least, but he's with his teammate.
He's on 3 dinks!
He's on 3. Alright. Let's see it. Come on, Shane. Super sub. Let's make it happen. You got 19 HP, and you've got the world ahead of you. Let's see if you've got what it takes. And he's down to 5. He's just...
He only has 1 shot.
Oh, he's going to throw the fake flash. The classic strat. Oh, and he's just shut down. Assassins 1 round away from taking the series, taking the championship, being the Contender grand champions for season 20.
Yeah, I was gonna, before that 5-7 catastrophe, I was gonna point out this was OS's map pick. But I'm struggling to see their tactics. I'm struggling to see them put together ideas that can shut down HG. So it's just kind of wondering what they had planned, and if this was it, then I don't know how they thought it could be enough.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, they
Like,
were
was it
the
just too
underdogs
strong?
going it. They
Yeah.
were the underdogs going into this game. They definitely had a very commendable series, as we were talking about in the pregame. But unfortunately, maybe dreams are not meant to be. Maybe it is the numbers, just the raw numbers of the situation, are finally coming to destroy what is left of their faith, because they've got 8 match points to deny in order to try to make this a game worth considering.
Yeah, that would be a absolutely unbelievable comeback if they can pull it off. And they're in a decent spot in this current round, but like you
Yeah.
said, it's much more than just this round. They have a lot more ahead of them.
Yeah. And you could just see it and how they're moving, how they're holding angles. They're so deflated. Even when they have a man advantage, they're just afraid. And
Oh my gosh.
HG is so fearless. Alex just jumps through the smoke. Formally verified. Fires on all cylinders, though. Gets himself a nice little 2-piece. Make it a 3-piece. And Shinobi do have a round on their CT. Their first round on their CT side. Will it be too little too late, or is it the start of a comeback? We've got a full... We've got 7 match points to find out, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary carriers.
Yeah, and like you said, it was just fearless from HG. I mean, the drop down in the cat smoke, that it's tough to say what OS could have done better there. They just didn't have enough guns to cover all those angles. The player, well, that doesn't help.
Duh. Nobody's
Nothing going
home.
at long.
Didn't really matter. Long is not where the action is. It's happening more towards mid, more towards B, and
More towards Zippy.
more towards Zippy. Zippy, the man, the myth, the legend, gets yet another opening pick. The master of opening picks this series.
Oh my gosh.
Answer one back does make it not quite so dire straits, but yet another answer back. Zippy is just an animal, is on 2 for the round. Oh, he's about to get a... Nah, he's shut down at the pass, but just the fearlessness out of him to just charge right up Cat and try to show that player who's boss. Oh, the flank is huge, though, from Brodog. Absolutely shuts down the player CT. They have answered one back from the CT play, but that is all said and done. Arthos absolutely decimates Shinobi, and the Contender champions of Season 20 CSC are Assassins in domination, in dominant style. What a blowout.
I don't know if I've ever seen something like that.
Yeah, I
last
was
kill
set to
from
I was set to
Arthos.
cast for another 10 seconds or at least, but it was just gone like blink blink. I didn't
Yeah,
even
that
think,
was like a 90-degree spray transfer wallbang headshot and downward, because that CT ramp is so much lower than long. That was unreal. And that's kind
Yeah.
of the tail of the tape for everything HG was doing on that map. They were shooting out of their minds.
for the whole series, man. It was like I couldn't even comment what was going on. It was just happening too fast. So many of those rounds were just like it went from a 5 versus 4 to a 3 versus 0, and I didn't even get
Yeah.
a chance to stop and catch my breath. I mean,
Trying to piece together
Yeah.
the strategy. Oh, Zippy has a double entry. Oh, we're into the action.
it's just like, oh, and the hit's coming in and it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, we always hope for a even matched, we like best of 3 bangers, we like 3 map affairs, we like overtime, but at the same time, we also like rooting for an underdog, but at the same time, it's sometimes good to see when the better team on paper shows why they achieved results, and HG made it clear why they had an 11-4 season. They made it clear why they were favored here. They made it clear that they were ready to win this map or win this series.
They sure did. The only game that was even slightly close was that original Nuke game. I do have to give it to Shinobi. Like, everything going into it, their story, they made it seem like they had something in them to maybe make it a competitive series, especially after that first map, but unfortunately, it came down to the raw aim duels, the raw, just pure, like, some say that Dust 2 is just a pretty puggy, like, the better team, whoever can shoot better, is going to come out on top, and unfortunately for OS, HG was the better tutors, the better collection of fraggers, and they just shut them down.
Yeah, no doubt. Do we want to try to get somebody in here for post-game interview?
We're not going to be doing any post-game interviews tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the non-binary carriers. So, what I will suggest instead is we've got some lovely games going on Twitch. Got the A stream, B stream. I probably finished first. That was, yeah, A, B, C, and D. A, B, and C are live in game. D is doing interviews. That was just so quick. So if you still hungry for more Counter-Strike, some very tense playoff matches are happening over there. Twitch TV at CSC, NA Stream A, B, and C have got some action for you. But for now, from us, it has been a wonderful night. It's been wonderful having you all here. Thank you all for joining us on the YouTube Direct stream. I've been Amos Kingsnake.
And I've been Mott.
It's been lovely to have you all. Take care of yourselves. Your lives matter. It'll get better one day. You just got to keep pushing forward. You take care.